What's going on, y'all? About to check out this video that you guys sent me. And it says, watch Senator Kennedy say what every official is, thinking? Or hiding? Yeah, we'll see. This might be a video about the Somali stuff going down.
Somali fraud ring in Minnesota stole over $1 billion from Medicaid. How did this happen?
That's
well,
insane.
Medicaid programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected. So they decided to look the other way because they were afraid of, quote unquote, political backlash. Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali American fraud investigator told me.
So this is crazy. So before we get to Ilhan Omar and senators and Senator John Kennedy calling for her arrest and every elected official that is involved in this, including Tim Walz, which we're definitely going to dive into, make sure to smash the like button because this is a big one. Ilhan Omar, how in the world? She's worth $30 million?
How you doing, Robot? I was about to say robot. How you doing, Robert? Robert.
How is that even possible? How is that possible from a congresswoman?
Oh, you Robert.
$30 million. Well, let's actually take a deeper look at what's going on because, again, agents are already deportation agents. We got all this stuff happening there. And then you have ongoing investigations as to more fraud being uncovered. The number now allegedly is going to $8 billion, right? That is what we heard from officials lately. So $8 billion from $1 billion, that's a huge jump. But let's actually stick to the story here. How in the world is Ilhan Omar worth all this money?
Well, now investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
So we got best friends and people that she knows and people in the Minnesota area getting locked up. So this thing is getting very, very serious. And here we go. We're going to go to Senator John Kennedy, right? Senator John Kennedy literally he dropped a bombshell that literally left everybody shocked because he brought this up Senate floor and he
absolutely, because they definitely are disgusting for that.
Yeah. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name.
Getting old. Can't be out here wilding out the dance moves. I used to be able to break it on down. I can't break it on down like that no more. Getting too old.
He's starting to talk about this, unlike any other senator. Take a listen.
This one makes you want to throw up on a potted plant. Makes me want to stick my head in an oven. So they started going to parents in the Somali community and saying, can we call your child autistic? Can we certify that your child is autistic? If you'll let us do that, we'll pay you a bribe, anywhere from $400 to $1,500 a child.
So I could cut a rug.
It's deeply disgusting. I mean, it is clown world on steroids. It makes me want to knee someone in the groin. But the politicians in Minnesota let this happen. It is disgusting, Mr. President. These people ought to all be put in jail, including the politicians. To the powers that be, pretty please, with sugar on top. I'll add a cherry. I've even got an old McDonald's McRibs coupon somewhere. I'll throw that in the mix.
That's crazy.
Wow. So first of all, this dude is hilarious.
Yeah, he came with a whole routine. I don't know if he had to check his notepad to see the jokes, but he's going off. He's going on. He's like, I got an old McRib coupon. That's wild. Would it even work? Would that?
John Kennedy been around in politics for a long time, but he says one important sentence: lock them all up. Lock them all up. All the elected officials involved in this, lock them all up. Speaking of all of this, where is the coverage? Right? Speaking of going after Ilhan Omar, speaking after Tim Walz, if you talk to a normal individual, who, again, probably is left leaning or in the middle or not paying attention to politics, only sees the headlines about Trump and the right wing and narco boats and all this stuff. They never really actually know what's going on, which brings me to, who is telling these stories? Why is John Kennedy the only one speaking up, calling for the arrest? Why? Where are you? What's going on? Well, I think there's something to explain here. And I found this video. I have to show you because I thought this is very, very, very damning, really, right? The leftist media is hiding this story about Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. Take a look at this.
Now, I want y'all to take a look at this. This right here is a breakdown of how much time each of these networks right here have spent on what I believe is supposed to be the biggest story in America right now.
Probably not much.
Yeah. See, when a current sitting governor, the commander-in-chief of Minnesota, is caught up in a multi-billion-dollar fraud, embezzling taxpayer dollars in order to siphon that money into the pockets of illegal immigrants, or specifically, an 80%.
Everybody should be talking about that. It seems like I'm damn near covering it more than news networks for sure. Like, I'm not hearing that. That's crazy. People are hitting me up. I think my brother was like, yeah, I just watched a video the other day about this. Starts talking to me about this. I'm like, no one else is covering it? Goddamn, me, the people I'm reacting to, shout outs to them. Shout outs to my supporters for suggesting the videos. But yeah, that does sound kind of crazy.
Of Somalians who are being paid by the government to chill. Yeah, when that whole thing gets exposed, according to ABC, CBS, and NBC, aka the mainstream propaganda machine, that is considered a non-story.
Wow.
And by the way, for anybody who's trying to call this whole thing racism, go ask a Black American about how they feel about this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've spoken about that on this channel plenty of times. But this story it just keeps getting.
I guess I fall under Black American. Yeah, there's some bull crap that they need to prosecute these people to the fullest extent.
Getting worse, right? Here we have Minnesota Attorney General, who is a declared Antifa member, right? There's a photo of this guy. Here it is. Bombshell leak: Minnesota AG Keith Ellison caught on tape telling Somali donors he'll fight, right, the state agencies investigating their $250 million fraud scheme because it's unethical to investigate this whole situation. That's what's going on out there, right? And this is him. Apparently, this is a photo of him holding an Antifa fascist book or whatever. Let's actually go to the clip that's going viral here. And again, let's just go. Minnesota AG Keith Ellison says that the Somali fraud scandal shouldn't be politicized. And let's just keep going.
But let me just say this. We all want to protect the public dollar. We want to prosecute people who engage in fraud. We are up for that. But we can't do it on a partisan basis. We got to do it together. We can't use incidents like this to score a political point. We got to come in as a state and say, you will not steal money intended for poor people and prosecute them. That's how we protect the resources of the state of Minnesota. But
what do you mean you can't politicize this? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
That don't make no sense.
We're talking about billions. We're talking about 500.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he was trying to say. No idea. I don't think he know what the hell he was trying to say. This nigga is wilding.
Million, a billion, going up to 8 billion. We're talking about billions of dollars. We're talking about a broken immigration system. We're talking about a broken system, right? We're talking about a bunch of things put together. This has become and we're talking about Ilhan Omar, right? Like Ilhan, I don't think the energy from Trump would be this if Ilhan Omar didn't stand up there constantly talking about, white men and becoming the biggest threat. They're marrying on, talking about how dumb people in America are, talk about how bad the culture is, talk about how she loves being home, talk about how she loves, like the playbook that a lot of people, again, even including, as I showed you, even Black Americans, that's what they're fighting. That's what's been politicized here. It's the fact that people got caught and you're covering. People got caught in where's Tim Walz? Right? Like this all happened under your nose. AG, this is crazy. And let's actually go to Tim Walz, because I want to show you a video of his daughter. Before I show you a video of his daughter completely losing it, and that's another video that's hitting the internet by storm and going extremely viral. Here's Stephen Miller dropping a bombshell about all of this. This is how deep it goes. This is in response to the AG that you just heard saying that we shouldn't politicize any of this.
Based on what we have found so far, we believe that the Somali fraud operation in Minnesota is the single greatest theft of taxpayer dollars through welfare fraud in American history. We believe that we have only scratched the very top of the surface of how deep this goes. And you're familiar with all the scams with pretending that children have autism who are not in fact autistic, with pretending to enroll people in food programs when in fact nobody was ever enrolled, and engaging in massive fraud, lying, and theft and grift on a scale we've never seen before in American history. The total bill, the total tab for this is going to be far beyond the numbers we've already seen reported. We believe the state government is fully complicit in this scheme, and we believe that what we are going to uncover is going to shock the American people. Look, based on the records that we already have, and this is a significant undercount, by the way, 75% of the Somali population in Minnesota is on welfare. But that's likely a significant undercount of just how much of a financial burden the Somali refugee population is imposing on this country.
Miller says Trump's top advisor, right? Cabinet member, part of his administration, right? Says that local government is responsible for that. State government is responsible for all of this. This is because it's under their watch. And this goes deeper than you could possibly imagine. Who's a part of the state government? Where is Tim Walz? What is happening with Tim Walz? Right? Last time we saw Tim Walz, he was freaking out about being called the R word by Trump. We search up Tim Walz. This gets bad. This gets really bad. If you search up not president, because he wanted to be the vice president, by the way, but he wasn't able to. He was freaking out over being called the R word. True. He would have been vice president, but the governor of Minnesota, of course, that I'm pretty sure Minnesota's watching this.
And he's soft like that. This is who you want to run stuff? Somebody that's a baby back bitch?
Wish this guy was not that, but take a listen. This is what we're seeing from him. This is what he's doing.
True. This creates danger.
The R word?
And
I ain't gonna say the whole thing. That's what I'm assuming the R word is. There's multiple R words though.
I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful. He should not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So deeply.
Well, it looks like it's running in the family. It's running in the family because apparently Tim Walz's daughter was having a meltdown in a profanity-laced TikTok.
The word was retarded.
Says that Trump cult members are driving by her house screaming that her family are R-words ever since his Thanksgiving truth.
Also, this video is for educational purposes. Educational purposes.
Social post. I'll try to play some of it because I heard she is going profanity crazy, but let's see.
No, I'm talking about this because while my family and I are always going to be the bigger people, the president calling my dad what he did has unleashed a storm regarding like offensive language towards me and my family, and specifically my brother. You can call me whatever you want. You can call my dad, my mom. When it's Gus, to the no. He dealt with people calling him that last August, and now there's a resurgence. And no, how is it okay that the president of the United States can call somebody, anybody, doesn't matter who they are, that, and then all of his freaking cult members come and attack those people and that person's family? Say what you want about my dad. He's an elected official, right? Like, that's going to happen. I think it's utterly disgraceful that the president would do that. But then the attacks that I have seen, I have people DMing me saying absolutely horrendous things. When I was home last week, somebody drove by and screamed that we were R words, just driving by in their car.
Well, shut your sensitive ass up. Who cares? So, like, what? You crying over words? Someone said this, like, nah, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal.
I'm like, what world are we living in? And again, I draw the line at Gus because he dealt with that before, and not again. You people are disgraceful. Shame on you, all of you.
Well, there you have a TikTok from, I think her name was Hope Walz. She says that there are people, we are living in some wild times. I guess she says that there are people driving by and calling her family the R word. And I guess they're calling her brother that. So, yeah, I mean, look, that's the update. That's an update. She has
to be clear. When I said it, I'm not referring to anybody. It's just the word, bro. It's just the word. I'm not going to sit here and like cry with him. Word was said.
I got no jokes, really. I don't even want to joke about this. I don't even want to joke about it because it's just I don't. She's feeling some type of way. We got to look out for Tim and his family. They're not feeling good about this. You know, when her father decided to go up there and wish death on Trump, like, nah, for sure. I mean, you guys remember that? Where her dad was literally hoping that he woke up to news that Trump was dead. And you're worried about an R word? You're worried about your family getting called the R word? I don't know, man. I would stay off the internet if I was you. I mean, your dad is like very incendiary. I mean, you can say what you want about Trump. Trump's been the anomaly in the room. Everybody else trying to do what he's doing, they're the ones trying to fit in that world. Again, I can't sit here and tell you I would say everything Trump says. Absolutely not. But that's been Trump for the last 10 years. Your dad hasn't been that. Your dad, all of a sudden, you know, he wants to, you know, get in the ring with Trump. Good luck. We already know what comes with that. We've known it for 10 years already. So you're mad that you're getting called the R word. Your dad shouldn't be engaging and wishing for death because you already know what's going to come. No holds barred. So, yeah. But anyways, that's the update from his daughter. And again, you have, you know,
like, people feel like they can say whatever they want about Trump. But then, God forbid, he says anything back. He's like labeled as a villain. I can't believe he said this word. Like, nigga, shut up. Shut your ass up. Who cares? It's not a big deal.
Dr. Oz came out. Dr. Oz spoke about this, spoke about what was going on with all of this as well. And let's take a listen.
It's true. A Somali fraud ring in Minnesota stole over $1 billion from Medicaid. How did this happen? Well, Medicaid programs are run by the states, which in Minnesota means the Tim Walz administration. Governor Walz and the state's other Democrats rely on Somali votes to get elected. So they decided.
That's crazy. I didn't even recognize that was Dr. Oz right there. That's wild.
To look the other way because they were afraid of, quote unquote, political backlash. Don't take my word for it. That's what a Somali American.
Oh, Dr. Oz, man.
Fraud investigator told the New York Times. When these scammers realized that nobody was guarding the cash register, they went gangbusters. One program designed to provide housing stabilization assistance to patients ballooned to $104 million, when 4 years ago it was projected to cost only $2.6 million. Some of these taxpayer funds may have even ended up in the hands of a Somalian terrorist group. Scary stuff.
Yeah.
When CMS became aware of the housing program situation, Minnesota insisted it could clean up its own mess. A few months ago, it admitted it could not. So we stepped in to shut down the fraud-infested housing initiative. Today, we're taking action on more than a dozen other programs, which I've outlined in the post below. Our message to Walz is clear. Either fix this in 60 days or start looking under your couch for spare change, because we are done footing the bill for your incompetence.
Oh my goodness, Dr. Oz.
Yeah, he's not playing. So start looking under your couch for spare change, buddy.
Good luck. Good luck, Tim Walz. Ladies and gentlemen, it's crazy. Yeah,
you're gonna have to answer for a lot of stuff. And if I'm just being honest, it's deserving. 100%. Because that was just wild. It was wild as hell. And then for them to try to play victim, I was gonna say the R word, but yeah. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Hit the like button, share the video as well. Hit the hype button if you're able to.